Hi everyone, how you doing? Hope you're all safe and well. Sorry I've not been online for a couple of days. I've been preparing for my daughter's 18th birthday, which we're all excited about. Yeah, it's crazy how quick time goes. I mean, it doesn't seem 5 minutes since she was born, and here she is, 18-year-old. Fortunately, today I'm able to be present and be there for her and celebrate this milestone in her life and really be here to support her. It hasn't always been like that. Gambling robbed me of so many opportunities as a father, but today, thankfully, I'm able to make up for that. So just to for those of you who's never seen any of my videos before, my name's Mark. I'm a former gambling addict. I'm not a therapist. I'm not a counsellor or anything like that. I'm just a guy on the internet who talks about gambling addiction, his experience, and his experience of life today, free from that misery. So if you're in that position and you're looking for a way out, stick around. You might find something useful what I say, and you never know, you too may be able to develop that life that you deserve, free from gambling as well. Thank you to everybody who's subscribed, who's left comments. I do read them all, and it's heartbreaking. It really is heartbreaking reading some, because you can feel and understand the pain and the suffering and the frustration and the bafflement, the sheer just confusion that people in active gambling addiction are feeling. When people say, "Why do I do this?" It's yeah, I know. This is it. It's a very, very confusing condition to be caught up in the grips of. Sorry, I'm just getting a. Excuse me, I'm just having a quick cup of coffee before work. It's a really confusing position to be caught up in. And my advice is have a look through some of the videos that I've done previously. I will go and repeat a lot of that stuff because it's really important. But once we understand what we're up against, the question is, what are we going to do? What are we going to do about it? What are you going to do to stop gambling? Now, not talking about stopping gambling just for a couple of hours or maybe a day or something like that. It's like, what are you going to do to stop gambling permanently? Because everything you've done so far likely has failed. So look at what you've done so far. Has it been successful? And think to yourself, okay, what do I need to do? Because this is the thing, we can have a desire not to gamble. But having a desire not to gamble is just like having a desire not to have a cup of tea. It's a desire in itself not to do something. What does that mean? If the desire isn't followed by action, a plan of action, what we can do to get ourselves out of this situation, then you can have the strongest desire in the world and nothing's going to change if there's no action there. And that's been my experience. Now I could sit on a meditation cushion and meditate on me belly button for weeks, months, you know what I mean? I don't want to gamble, I don't want to gamble. That's not going to do anything. That's not going to do anything. If the desire, if you desire, if the desire if our desire to stop gambling isn't followed by a plan of action, then, you know, if we don't plan anything and follow that plan, then, you know, how are we going to stay gambling free if we don't change anything? If we don't change anything, if nothing changes, nothing changes. That's what somebody said to me in the early 2000s. Mark, if nothing changes, nothing changes. And they're right. If nothing changes, nothing changes. And I remember that. And it was from a guy who was in recovery for a long time. And yeah, if nothing changes, nothing changes. So, if you've got a desire to stop gambling, what can we do? What can we put in place to help move that along? To help us see the results? Well, one of the first thing is to break out of the isolation, is to tell those who you're closest to, I'm in trouble. Because the fear of opening up, the likelihood is they already know. That you have an issue with gambling, but it's breaking down that barrier of isolation by opening up and telling somebody and saying, look, I really need help, I'm banging trouble, I don't know what to do. That's opening it up to other people, to allow them to know, so we can start putting things in place to block ourselves from going back to gambling. I mean, for me, ultimately, and I keep saying it, the 12 steps are a proven program of action that will enable you to live a life relatively content. And I know that from experience. So my suggestion would be that, but not everybody wants to do that. So I'll go back to this question: what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do to bring that desire to stop gambling into a reality? Because if we just sit on our backsides and do nothing, your head's going to twist and you're going to be back gambling in no time. And I'm not saying that arrogantly or anything like that. I'm saying that because time and time again, I went through that process. I had the strongest desire. I had a strong desire to not do it, but I did it anyway, even though I knew I didn't want to do it. You know, the misery, the suffering, it nearly killed me. I mean, for me personally, I ended up, just a bit of a disclosure, I ended up on top of a multi-storey car park in a city centre car park, about to throw myself off. I'd accepted to myself that day I was going to die. Fortunately, it was a well-known suicide spot, and there was police in an unmarked car there who basically talked me back, and I had a breakdown through gambling. You know, but guess what? After I came out of the hospital, a week, 10 days later, I gambled again. Yeah. My gambling had got me to the point where I was on top of a multi-storey car park, about to seriously about to throw myself to my death. Fortunately, through some divine intervention or whatever, I was found and talked back to sanity. But a few days, a couple of weeks later, all of that experience didn't mean jack shit. I'm back gambling again. You know, even the most powerful desire not to gamble can't stop us from going back to it. My experience is that we have to change. We have to, whether we like it or not. We have to change. Otherwise, nothing changes. If nothing changes, nothing changes. Anyway, take care. I hope somebody's got something from this. My life today is fantastic. I just want to say that. My life today is beyond anything I could have conceived at the time. You know, during during that whole process, all I wanted, I'd lost my relationship, I'd lost access, I'd lost contact with my daughter. Oh my God, it was horrendous. My gambling was horrendous. It took me to some horrendous places, and all I wanted in my life was some love. Today I've got that. I've got friends. I've got a roof over my head. You know, I've got a good job. I've got money in the bank. I'm not well off. I'm not particularly well off, but I'm comfortable. You know, I don't need anything. I don't really need anything to make me happy, because I'm pretty content the way I am. And it was never like that. It was never like that. So if you're in a state now where you want to find a way out, if you're in a state now where you're looking for a way out, there is a way out for you too. You can do this. Anyway, take care. Bye.